Paramilitary! Paramilitary! The Spyderco Paramilitary 2, once thought to be an amazingly wonderful knife, has just become even better, thanks to the Grimsmo brothers. They have currently succeeded in making aftermarket CNC machined aluminum handles for it.
Oh my god!
After a long and painful process, 6 months in the work, and dozens of failed attempts, they have finally achieved a masterpiece of perfection. How was that? Was that good enough?
I think so.
Introducing our brand new snakeskin machining pattern. We have made several pairs of paramilitaries so far, and they turn out good. But up until now, we've just been making one pair, which is this section right here. But I've just written a code late last night I should mention, which means it might not be perfect, that basically takes this code, all the codes done in here, and it just goes copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. And it's an offset program called a subroutine. So you really only need one piece of code instead of 2-piece, 3-piece, 4-piece, 5-piece. And subroutines are pretty cool like that, because then you only have to change. Like if you have to change the profile, you only have to change it once instead of 9 different times or whatever. So this palette makes 9 pairs of handles, or 18 handles total. And we're about to hit go, see if hopefully it works. So the first backside operation is done on all these handles. It worked really, really well. Alright, so we just pulled these off. This is ready to be swapped to another palette. And Eric's going to explain what's going on.
Alright, so we're taking all these off and putting them onto that palette to do the final profile pass. So we can mount these up to hold down each palette, or each handle. And now we made 2 pallets for these.
All these 4-wheelers driving by. So yeah, we made 2 identical pallets that we just finished, which means
that we could potentially save a lot of time by just throwing this pallet onto the machine, letting that run, and in the 20 minutes of downtime, then we can take the other one and take off all 24 bolts and switch it onto the next pallet. Yeah. So therefore, we're not wasting 10, 15 minutes of bolt time with the machine not running.
Yeah, because like all the big machine shops say, when the spindle's not running, you're losing money.
Yep.
So the code currently is not set up to do that. So we just have to run this one set of handles through and through, including the downtime, which is fine. We're still perfecting it, like making sure it works. And then after that, we can do it a bit more efficiently. So Eric's got this all blown off. Make sure there's no chips. Yeah, make sure there's no junk to get in the way. It's got to be totally dead flat. And now all the tips are on here.
It's like they're drag racing.
Yeah, I think the quads are drag racing.
Oh, they're doing wheelies.
Oh, I missed the wheelie.
I love this job. Good one.
Your head got in the way.
Sorry.
Anyway.
I digest.
But I digest. The beauty of living out in the country. So this is our different palette. As you can see, it's meant for profiling the outside of the handles. And even more, man. Because right now, you cannot get an end mill to go all the way around the handle because there's bolts in the way. And if you did, the handle would just fall out. So you need to bolt it down from these two locations.
Bobcat. Or
Snowmobile?
no, dune buggy basically.
Oh.
But the cars.
Anyway, so we've got the other palette to do that. This turned out pretty much perfect, except I don't know why. But this logo got chewed up. Chewed? Chewed? Chewed. I don't know why. All the other ones turned out really good, though. Yeah, I guess tune isn't a word.
No. It is now.
Yeah, so where'd it go? That one either becomes garbage or scratch and dent or something. And the pivot holes are a little chattery, so I'll have to change the feed rate next time. You can see right there. Little chattery, no big deal, but other than that, everything turned out perfect. So yeah, Eric's got to take the 10 to 20 minutes it takes to unbolt all of these 24 bolts, and using these top clamps, basically bolting them down like this to the other fixture. That way they're held down from the inside, and you can profile around the outside with nothing in the way. We've been doing it like this for 9 months or whatever on all my handles. Works really, really good. Just an 1/8 inch aluminum top clamp. Works really good. You're not done yet?
No.
See, imagine if the spindle was running while you were doing
Dropping
this.
stuff.
Yeah, while you were dropping stuff. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, then you don't feel like you have to rush.
Yeah, take your time, because this takes less time than the batch of code. Almost done with the paramilitary handles, the first big run. Last step is to cut them out, basically, to profile them, and then to do a corner rounder. So I've got a wicked awesome, this is an IMCO streaker end mill, specifically designed for aluminum, really short, 1/4 inch, high helix flutes. This thing is like a monster on aluminum. It just eats it up. It's got a really high feed rate. So for you machinists out there, this is 3/16 aluminum, using a 1/4 inch end mill, 5100 RPM, 40 inches per minute, which is crazy for me. Full depth of pass, or depth of cut, all the way through. What I used to use was, I used to cut everything out with an 1/8 inch end mill. That's twice as big. And these would break all the time because they're so thin and weak. And on the old machine, I would have to step down halfway, feed at 4.7 inches per minute, which is like this fast, and then step down full and do another 4.7 inches per minute. So from 4.7 to 40 inches per minute, and I'm doing it in one pass, it's like 20 times faster. So it does one roughing pass, and then it comes in and does a finish pass. Let's hit it, because this is really cool to watch. 10 thousandths of wall thickness at also 40 inches per minute. Now moves to the next one and just does it all over again. So one thing that's really cool about this machine is having a coolant pump that actually has some balls to it. So I cranked it up, and it's really blowing those chips away, which is exactly what you want it to do. Booyah, all done. 18 paramilitary handles, 9 pairs of awesomeness. How did it go, Eric?
It went amazing. Only 2 little hiccups, but that is to be expected on the first batch run.
Yeah, the first big batch that we've done. 2 little hiccups, no big deal. One set of handles is probably garbage, or just the one handle, actually.
Yeah.
And the other one, just the logo messed up a little bit. No big deal. Oh, I love this machine. It's a game changer. And we're starting to see how it's not going to take very long to literally pay for itself. I mean, that's the purpose of buying it.
Yeah, we can be way more productive on this one with the bigger pallets, and
Yeah,
it's more efficient than that other one that we always had to work on. And
exactly. We're here to make money, not make machines.
yep.
So if you can... And not lose money either.
Yeah.
So you spend a lot of money on a machine, but of course, in not very long time, it pays itself off. Here we have it, guys. Finished paramilitary handles. Yo. Okay, I'm not a gangster. I don't know what that means. But I am freaking thrilled that these are finally done. These have been a tough nut to crack. And it's all because of these nested liners that are inside. Machining has to be perfect. You have to be able to machine one side of the part, flip it over exactly, machine the other side of the part, have all the holes line up, be able to chamfer the holes. Everything has to be like within 0.02 of an inch of being accurate. Not just that the machine can be that accurate, but that your design has to be that accurate. And to reverse engineer something as relatively complicated as this has been a giant headache for me. However, she is finally done, and she is all put together, and she works like a absolute dream. On my old machine, I made probably, I literally lost count, but I probably made 15 or 20 pairs of failed handles. Trying to get the design better, different every time. And you're thinking, why didn't you just use a probe to measure the old handles? Well, I did, but my probe was not very accurate. So I would still have to go in and tweak all the designs. If I took these to a big machine shop and they had a big CMM machine, they could measure them properly for me. I might be doing that from now on, just to save months and months of downtime, but still, figuring out how to machine them has been a headache on top of actually having it be right. So here are the stock handles, black G10. They kind of have this funny look to them because I used super glue to glue them down to my table. And it got in there good. This isn't coming out. So you might find it interesting. Could be a cool pattern for you to do yourself one day if you're feeling bored and don't care about your G10 handles. I just put a strip of super glue down on a piece of flat aluminum, put this down, put a heavy weight on top, let it dry. And then you just chip it off from the side and it breaks free. Anyway, so these are pretty much garbage now, but they're still measurable if I ever need to go back. So on the old machine, I made way too many handles that didn't work. On this machine yesterday, my brother Eric and I made 5 sets of handles to test the code. There's 02, 03, 04, and this one is 05 that worked. So they're little changes. The holes weren't exact. The blade would be sticky. These have to be so exact that if they're off, even by a smaller amount than you can see, the blade is sticky like through half the travel. And that's not acceptable. I don't want to sell this stuff and have people go, oh, put it together, but it's worse than stock. That's garbage. It has to be perfect, or as perfect as I can do. So these 5 sets of handles are pretty much useless. I didn't bother to put my logo in them or anything like that, but it did let us practice a few patterns. Here's a pattern, a machine pattern. We're calling it the Snakeskin Pattern. Hard to see in this light. I really like that. That's going to be my staple from now on. Here's the snakeskin that's been Scotch-Brite wheeled. If I can get the light to shine off just right. Should have done this outside, but it's too noisy outside. Anyway, Scotch-Brite that. And it just, you Scotch-Brite that and it just shows all the ripples very nicely. I think it looks sweet. That's that. Here's a, it's called a plunging pattern that we tried. This front half is machined and this back half has been Scotch-Brited. It just takes the sheen away and lets you see the texture much more better. So I like that. For this particular pattern, I'm not thrilled how it goes around the outside. Like the middle ones are linear. Bop, 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 bop. I like that. How it goes around the outside and follows the contour makes it look kind of sloppy. So if I keep this one, which I probably will because it looks wicked, I will write a code that does a linear pattern side to side. I don't have a lot of room outside the handles to play with on this fixture, so I can't do everything, but. And there's just a different kind of pattern. This is called a contour pass, where it starts in the middle, it just goes around, 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 around. And there's the contour that's been Scotch-Brited. It actually looks really cool. If I can get it to focus. So Scotch-Briting just gets that shine away. And it's still bright and silver and cool looking, but it lets you see the texture better. It's not hidden behind the shine. Anyway, we just made 9 handles. I'm ecstatic. At the end of this, I'm going to put some footage of how we did it. And I haven't test fit this batch of handles yet. I'll do that next. But I'm sure they're going to be perfect and exactly like they're supposed to be. And they just need a little bit of deburring on the back. And I'm going to tumble them just to break the edges. There you have it. Accepting orders now. Send me your money. Black handles, lame. Gray handles, gets dirty too easy. I've been carrying this knife every day for 9 months or so. What else? Obviously these haven't been anodized yet. I can anodize in any color I want. I've got a lot of really cool colors: toxic green, yellow, orange, red, black. So that just adds a whole new dimension to the handle. Silver is cool, but I honestly haven't sold a lot of silver handles in the past. Everybody wants a cool anodized color, so I don't blame them. Anodized is awesome. So these handles are completely machined except for this face on the back side. That's still the raw material, which absolutely doesn't matter. Other than that, every single surface is machined to a enormously high level of perfection. Because that's who I am, yo. I am a perfectionist at heart. Been struggling with crappy tools until now, and I finally have the tools to meet my perfectionism. Yeah, I think that's a word. I know it's a word. Anyway, score. There's just nothing else to say. I mean, these are perfect. I've got a few other patterns I want to try. I've previously done a honeycomb pattern that looks epic. My dragon scales, I'll be doing a few of those. Yeah. there's an infinite number of engravings and patterns and colors and all kinds of stuff. So me as the maker, I basically just have to choose what I want to do and make lots of them. And you as the buyer get to choose from my lineup. Because it's way too much work to accept custom ideas and do them one-off. That's not where I'm going with this. So, you want that, you go to Tough Thumbs. Mad props to you, man. Dude, Tough Thumbs, you have been making, as of like 6 months ago, you told me 100 sets of paramilitary handles, and that was a long time. You've probably made a lot more since then, by hand, out of G10. Hats off to you. I don't know if you're watching this, but just to let everybody know, I'm really impressed that you can pull that off by hand and have them all be accurate. It's a whole different ballgame with CNC. I mean, you might think, as someone who doesn't know a lot about CNC, if that's who you are, that, you just write it in the program and it does what you want it to do. Yeah, but you have to know what you want it to do. You have to know to the thousandth of an inch where every hole is, where every liner goes, where everything, so that it has to fit perfectly. And then you have to figure out how to machine it and hold it down and flip it properly without losing alignment. And it's been a huge process for me. Not only a difficult process, but a learning experience. I've learned so much about machining just trying to figure out this handle. And now that I have, I'm a better man for it. I will leave you with one thought. This knife with titanium handles. Has it ever been done before? I kind of doubt it. Considering the amount of work that I've done, I don't think you can make titanium handles by hand. Has to be CNC machined. I think I will be a first. Tomorrow I'm going to the water jet place to pick up a bunch of profiles, a bunch of outlines in titanium, like a lot of them. So if you want titanium handles, you let me know, because they're not going to last long. And I'm bringing a pile of them to Blade Show. So I'm not going to sell out before I get the blade, because I need to bring them. So these in titanium are going to be fantastic. Stonewashed titanium, available in anodized different colors, possible engravings, maybe a honeycomb. Yeah, it's going to be cool, guys. Life is good. Hope life is good with you guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.